I'm now here for my Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith full card predictions and breakdowns. Let's get right into them, starting with Nesta Bravo versus Pedro Campa. I believe that Nesta Bravo is going to win this fight via unanimous decision. I think it's an interesting fight because I think it's volume, which Pedro Campa's got, versus timing and precision, which Nesta Bravo has got. Bravo's coming off a loss where he got outworked basically in that fight. That is what happened. That is why he lost, because he got outworked. He didn't do enough. I believe Nesta Bravo will win this fight, though. I believe that he will land the cleaner shots. And I believe he will be able to get his timing right on Campa, because Campa's going to come at him from the off, non-stop, keep up that same pace. But I think Bravo's going to be able to get his timing right this time round. I do think it is a risky fight for him coming back off a loss, definitely. It's not an easy fight whatsoever for him, and it is one which he could definitely lose. But I do think Nesta Bravo is going to be the more convincing one with his shots. I do think he's going to land cleaner, and I do feel like he's going to gain confidence as we go. But Pedro Campa is going to come and look to put it on him straight away, and is going to make things really difficult for Bravo. Bravo, I think, is going to have to mix things up in order to win. He's going to have to go to the body. You know, I feel like he headhunts a bit too much, and you never know. Coming off that loss, I feel like things might change, but I feel like to beat someone like Pedro Campa, he's going to have to go to the body. He's going to have to mix it up, and you know, I don't think he needs to be the most active in there. I just feel like he needs to be landing the bigger shots, and that's what I think will happen. I believe that is how he's going to win. He's going to be more convincing. He's going to be landing the way more eye-catching shots throughout. I think Campa's going to start stronger, but I think once Bravo gets his timing going, I think that's when he does get into a bit of a groove, and he is able to make Pedro Campa walk onto shots. So I'm going with Nesta Bravo to win a unanimous decision in the end here, though. But I think this is a good fight. Next up, then, we've got Alfredo Santiago versus Henry Cedeño. And I am going with Alfredo Santiago to defeat Henry Cedeño. Again, interesting fight. Santiago's, of course, He's got the reach advantage, which I think is going to be a real key factor here. But Cedeño has got power, 16 wins, 12 knockouts. You know, it's interesting. And Alfredo Santiago's only really lost at the top level. But I think Santiago's going to win. I feel like he's been improving a lot recently as well. I feel like the Fortuna fight, he looked very good in. He looked very comfortable in. Yes, Fortuna's probably not in his prime anymore. Either way, though, Fortuna's tough. He's a workhorse. And Santiago was very convincing in that fight. And I think with Henry Cedeño, he's going to come in. He is a strong guy. He does work the body well. But I do think Santiago is going to be able to walk him onto shots. I do think Cedeño he is open to mistakes when he is coming in. You know, we've seen him vulnerable to an uppercut, uppercuts when he's coming in, which I think Santiago's good at and is going to be able to time him onto. That's what he's going to look for. And it's going to be interesting to see who is on the front foot here as well, because Santiago, I feel like he's getting better at being able to force the pace on that front foot. And Cedeño, of course, he's going to really want to come in and take that front foot and push Santiago back as the smaller man. So that makes things interesting. But I do see Santiago being able to outbox him. I do. It is going to be difficult for him. I think Cedeño is going to be able to cause him problems, definitely. But I think Santiago is the more skilled boxer. I do think he is going to be able to beat Cedeño. But am I 100% confident in this prediction? No. But I do see Santiago being able to walk Cedeño onto some big shots. I see that backhand being a bit of a problem here and there. I think for him, I think Cedeño is going to walk onto some long hooks, to some long-range uppercuts as well from Santiago. But Cedeño can target that body, and Cedeño doesn't really stop coming. He is good on that front foot. And that makes things interesting. But again, Santiago's looking to force the action more as well. He's going to look to win this fight. I feel like it's a good stylistic fight, which I think could be very entertaining. But I am going with Alfredo Santiago to win this fight. I am going to say majority decision. I feel like it's going to be competitive in areas. 100% it will be. But I think Santiago is going to do that bit more than Cedeno. Okay, then. Next up, Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Fernando Diaz. I think Emmanuel Rodriguez will win this fight. Does he stop him? Fernando Diaz is tough. It's obvious Emmanuel Rodriguez will win. I feel like Diaz is being put in there with him just so he can beat him. I think, again, Diaz is tough. 6 losses. He hasn't been knocked out. Is this another one that goes the distance? I don't know. We'll say late stoppage for Emmanuel Rodriguez. We'll say late stoppage for him. He'll look to keep things long. Yeah, I don't think Diaz is going to have the movement to be able to deal with him. I think Rodriguez is going to, take more risks in this fight because it is one which he should win. I feel like risks will be taken from him. I feel like he probably will go looking for it, and I feel like he is going to get it. So I'm going to say Emmanuel Rodriguez wins this fight. I'm going to say, let's say, round 7 stoppage. Okay, then. Next up, then, we've got Javier Cintron versus Jonathan Rodriguez. I'm going with Cintron to win this fight. I think he is going to outbox Jonathan Rodriguez. Tricky southpaw, Cintron is. Very tricky southpaw. Very well achieved amateur as well. He's good. He's got very good footwork. I feel like he's got a good lead hand. And yeah, I feel like he's going to box his way to victory. Unanimous decision here. Rodriguez is tough. He's going to come at him. But Cintron is going to be way too smart for him. I still feel like we need to see way more from Cintron because in the pros so far, he's done nothing special whatsoever. So we need to start seeing more from him. We really do. I feel like he's gone really under the radar as a pro, and I feel like a lot of it is his own doing as well. A lot of it is his own doing. Yeah, he has not done enough whatsoever as a professional. So more needs to be done. More needs to be done. He'll win this fight. I'm confident that he will. But yeah, something needs to happen this year in 2026 for him because it's not gone well enough recently at all for him. Things need to change. Needs more activity. Needs to be going on to a higher level now. Again, Rodriguez is experienced, but he's got a pretty padded record. But yeah, Cintron will win a decision. But again, he's done nothing special. And I don't think since he's been in the pros, he's proven himself to be anything special. But I feel like it's one which he will box comfortably in and win. Anyway, that's when we get to our main event. Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. This is going to be an entertaining fight, but I'm picking Subriel Matias to win this fight against Dalton Smith. As an Englishman, I want to see Dalton Smith win, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Subriel Matias has operated at a much higher level than what Dalton Smith has. I think Subriel Matias is going to bring Dalton Smith into his game, and Dalton Smith won't even notice it. Dalton Smith, I feel like he's got traits of Canelo. He has very good upper body movement. Very good upper body movement. I feel like he's very clinical with the shots he puts together. I feel like he's very smart with the shots he picks. He's definitely much smarter than what Matias is, but Matias, he's not going to stop coming. He's going to eventually be able to wear out Dalton Smith, and he's eventually going to be able to break him down. I think Subriel Matias is going to stop Dalton Smith late on in this fight. That's what I'm saying. Late on in this fight. I reckon rounds 8 to 10, Subriel Matias will be able to get his way with Dalton Smith. He will break him down to the body. Dalton Smith, I feel like should have been managed better. People want he's been managed well. He hasn't been managed well enough. He's fought no one near the level of Subriel Matias. Nowhere near the level. And I feel like he's got a style which can cause Subriel Matias problems. But I don't think he's got a style to be able to beat Subriel Matias. He can cause him problems with the style he's got because he will want to exchange with him, and he will get the better of some exchanges, definitely. The reality is when Dalton Smith is going to be getting the better of those exchanges, Subriel Matias will still be calculating and be breaking him down as we go. So I think Subriel Matias will stop Dalton Smith late on in this fight. But it's one which I'm excited for. Promotion's not been good enough whatsoever, but I think Subriel Matias will stop him. Anyway, they're all my predictions for this card. Thank you all for watching.